So in this video, I'm going to share what I've learned about hot flushes and what you can add in your diet to reduce your internal overheating. If you're new here, my name is Shirley, and on this channel, I share nutrition and lifestyle tips to make living in menopause a lot easier. What I've learned is that there are risk factors that may increase your likelihood of experiencing hot flushes, and these include age, race, ethnicity, being overweight, and genetics. However, it's still not clear what actually causes us women at midlife to experience hot flushes. So in this video, I'm going to cover 3 reasons why you may be experiencing hot flushes in menopause. What's involved is our body's ability to regulate our core temperature, and this may be due to imbalances in hormones as well as neurotransmitters that affects our brain and our nervous system. So our body regulates our core temperature by sensing the temperature both inside and outside our body. And this information is sent to the hypothalamus, which is the part of the brain that regulates our temperature. It's also important to remember that it's not just the temperature inside and outside our body that affects our ability to regulate our core temperature. Illness, infections, your physical activity, diet, lifestyle, whether you're drinking enough water or not, even being overweight and other factors affect our ability to maintain our stable core temperature, because all these factors affect how our hypothalamus works. So depending on the temperature, our hypothalamus will either make us sweat, make us pant, dilate our blood vessels to cool our temperature down. In the same way as we start shivering, we have goose pimples, and this is our body's way of maintaining our core temperature in response to cold temperatures. So how does lower estrogen and other female sex hormones cause us to experience hot flushes? Our hypothalamus controls our hormones, and it gets feedback from the ovaries when it comes to estrogen, progesterone, and other sex hormones. However, when it comes to perimenopause and beyond, when our hormones get out of balance, the hypothalamus senses this decrease in lower estrogen and other sex hormones like progesterone, because we're no longer ovulating as much, or we're no longer ovulating. And when the hypothalamus senses the decrease in hormones being produced, what it does is to try and stimulate the pituitary gland to start releasing more hormones, and basically the hypothalamus goes into overdrive. And it's thought that it's this overdrive that causes us to experience hot flushes. This overcompensation affects the areas of the hypothalamus which is concerned with our ability to maintain our core temperature. So it senses temperatures are being hotter or cooler than it really is, making us either sweat, causing hot flushes, or getting the shivers, causing us to feel the chills. So reason number 2 as to why we may be experiencing hot flushes at menopause is because of stress and anxiety. And stress and anxiety actually has 2 parts to it, and the first one I'm going to talk about is because of the lack of oxygen or the increased levels of carbon dioxide, and this was really new to me. So what happens when we're stressed or anxious is that we subconsciously hold our breath. And this is our normal reaction to stress and anxiety. But when we're in that constant state, what we're doing is either we're hyperventilating and we're breathing too much, or we're actually holding our breath. And both these actions causes a rise in carbon dioxide levels in our blood. And the rise in carbon dioxide is sensed by another part of our brain called the amygdala, which causes us to feel even more stressed and anxious. This sets off our stress hormones, and this is thought to be another trigger for hot flushes. On top of this, norepinephrine, or our stress hormones, also stimulates our hypothalamus. And we often think of stress hormones as being created by the adrenal glands, but actually when it comes to the brain, norepinephrine, or that stress hormone, is actually a neurotransmitter that affects the hypothalamus. And it's this release of the neurotransmitter in the brain that narrows our threshold for feeling hot or feeling cold. In simple terms, this means that the temperature when we may start sweating normally is lower, and the temperature when we start feeling cold and shivering may actually be higher. So basically our normal parameters or our normal threshold for temperatures when we start feeling extremes of temperature is lower, and this is possibly what's causing us to experience hot flushes in menopause. In knowing the effects of stress hormones within the brain and our body generally, we then know how to deal with it. And one of the things that I found in my research for this video is the neurotransmitter serotonin has a calming effect on the stress hormones in the brain and the body. What can we add to our diet to help us reduce our night sweats and hot flushes? The first thing to do is to add lots of deeply colored fruit and vegetables in your diet to support your mitochondria. And these are your green leafy vegetables, your purple colored grapes, your reds and orange and citrus fruits and berries. These fruits and vegetables provide antioxidants to support the mitochondria, which is where your hormones are made. By supporting our mitochondria, we are supporting the metabolism of our own natural hormones, which may help to balance our natural hormone levels. So the next step I have is to add lots of cruciferous and fiber-rich foods in your diet. These foods support the metabolism and the excretion of estrogen, helping to maintain hormone balance. So around 95% of serotonin is actually made in our gut. So by adding lots of fiber-rich foods in your gut as well as the cruciferous vegetables, not only are you helping to excrete used hormones out of your body, you're also feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut to help create serotonin. And I've talked about the effect of serotonin when it comes to calming the neurotransmitters or the stress hormones in our brain and in our body. So by adding cruciferous vegetables and fiber-rich foods in your body, you may be helping to calm the stress that's triggering your hot flushes. So if you're getting benefits from the information I've shared so far, I'd love you to hit the like button so YouTube knows to share this information with other women who may benefit from the information I've shared here. So the next tip I have for you when it comes to reducing hot flushes is to add lots of healthy fats in your diet to support your brain health. So serotonin and GABA are neurotransmitters in the brain that helps to calm the stressful triggers that may be setting off your hot flushes. And sources of healthy fats or omega-3 fatty acids are oily fish, nuts and seeds, butter, olive oil, olives and coconut oil are great sources of healthy fats to support your brain health and calm the stressful triggers in your brain that may be setting off your hot flushes. However, in order to be able to produce serotonin and GABA, you need cofactors, and these are vitamin B6 and B12, which are needed to support the creation of calming serotonin and GABA in your brain. Vitamin B6 is needed to convert tryptophan, which is an amino acid from proteins, into serotonin, which is the neurotransmitter to calm the stressful triggers. In a similar way, vitamin B12 is needed for healthy nervous system and brain function. So the next food to add in your diet are sources of protein. Proteins are sources of amino acids needed to create the serotonin to calm the stressful neurotransmitters that may be triggering your hot flushes. The other benefit of adding protein into your diet is because they help to stabilize your blood sugar levels. And again, we've talked about stress as a trigger for hot flushes. That's why protein plays an important role when it comes to calming down your stress levels and reducing possible triggers for your hot flushes. Another food group to add in your diet to calm your nervous system is to add magnesium-rich foods in your diet. Magnesium is needed for over 300 reactions that's going on in your body, including your nervous system and the creation of neurotransmitters to calm your brain and your nervous system. Magnesium may also help to calm the neurotransmitters that cause you to overthink and to overreact and to be in a state of constant stressful reactions. So the next thing to add in your diet are sources of vitamin D, or take vitamin D supplements. We have vitamin D receptors in our cells all over our body, and it's needed for healthy brain function and the production of serotonin, as well as supporting our immune system. So if you've got benefits from the information that I've shared so far, I'd love you to hit the like button so YouTube can share this information with other women who may benefit from the information that I've shared here. Around 60% of our body is made up of water, and it's really important for many reactions to happen in our body, including transporting oxygen, getting rid of toxins, and in menopause, water is needed to make us sweat in order to cool us down, especially more so if you do experience sweating with your hot flushes. Being thirsty is not the only sign of dehydration. Headaches, concentrated urine, brain fog, feeling hot and dry mouth and dry eyes are all signs that you may be dehydrated. So it's really important that you drink a lot of water throughout the day. So we know already that stress plays a key role when triggering our hot flushes. So it's really important that you do manage your stress levels. And even as simple as that flash of stressful anxiety being triggered in your brain, that can be enough to trigger your hot flushes. So things like meditation, mindfulness, relaxing in a bath, going for a walk, reading a book, whatever you can do to help your brain and body to relax will benefit you and will help to calm the neurotransmitters and the stress hormones that may be triggering your hot flushes. And also remember that when we are anxious or when we feel stressed, that we may not be conscious of it, but we tend to hold our breath, or our breathing may become more shallow. And this is really important to become conscious of that fact and to think about what I said about your carbon dioxide rising in reaction to having shallower breaths or to holding our breath subconsciously. So when you are feeling those hot flushes, think about your breathing and start relaxing your breathing, breathing deeper into your diaphragm and taking those slow deep breaths. Do about 6 to 10 breaths per minute, and hopefully that will be enough to calm your nervous system, calm your anxiety and your stress levels. And these actions may be enough to stop your hot flushes in their tracks. Now, if menopause hair loss is one of your stress triggers, I do have a video on what foods to add in your diet to help regrow your hair again, and I will put the link in the description down below, and I'll put it in the card up above. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and remember to give it a like, and if you want to see more videos from my channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know when I've posted another video. And until next time, I'll see you then.